How could one man's hatred lead to the genocide of 6 million people? This question haunts history and humanity alike. As we embark on this journey, we're confronted with the chilling legacy of Adolf Hitler, a man whose name has become synonymous with hatred and destruction. The Holocaust, a word that sends shivers down our spines, was the horrifying culmination of Hitler's deep-seated animosity towards the Jews. His loathing was so profound that it resulted in one of the most brutal and systematic genocides the world has ever witnessed. But what fueled this hatred? What twisted rationale could justify the extermination of 6 million innocent lives? To answer these questions, we must first understand the man behind the monstrosity, a man shaped by his experiences, his influences, and his beliefs. To understand this, we must delve deep into the labyrinth of history. This exploration is not for the faint of heart, but it's necessary if we're to prevent such hatred from staining our future. Adolf Hitler, a name synonymous with hate and destruction, was not born with an innate hatred for Jews. Let's rewind to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, to a time when Hitler was but a struggling artist in the culturally diverse city of Vienna. Here, Hitler's worldview began to take shape. Vienna was a hotbed of traditional anti-Semitic thought, where Jews were often scapegoated for societal problems. Hitler was exposed to these ideologies, and they began to influence his thinking. In addition to this, Hitler was deeply affected by the writings of certain influential figures of the time, such as Karl Lueger, Vienna's mayor, who used anti-Semitism as a political tool. Lueger's rhetoric resonated with Hitler, who began to blame Jews for his own failures and the economic troubles of the time. Then came World War I, a pivotal moment in Hitler's life. He served as a soldier, and the defeat of Germany deeply wounded his nationalistic pride. He was further influenced by the widespread conspiracy theory, the stab-in-the-back myth, which blamed Germany's defeat on internal enemies, including Jews. These experiences, the anti-Semitic climate of Vienna, the writings of influential figures, and the aftermath of World War I, all played a significant role in molding Hitler's views. These experiences formed the foundation of Hitler's burgeoning hatred, but they were just the beginning. In the aftermath of World War I, Germany was a nation in ruins, looking for someone to blame. The scapegoat theory becomes pivotal in understanding Hitler's hatred towards the Jews. A scapegoat, by definition, is an individual or group unfairly blamed for the problems of others. In this case, the scapegoat was the Jewish community. The Treaty of Versailles left Germany economically crippled and socially humiliated. The nation, in its desperation, yearned for a simplistic explanation to its complex problems. Hitler, with his charismatic oratory skills, exploited these sentiments. He pointed a finger at the Jews, blaming them for the loss of the war, the financial crisis, and the overall decline of the German society. The Jews, who were already marginalized, became an easy target. Hitler's propaganda painted them as traitors, claiming they had stabbed Germany in the back during the war. This narrative was widely accepted and further fueled the pre-existing anti-Semitism. This scapegoat theory was not just a political strategy, it also served to justify Hitler's own deep-seated hatred for the Jews. It allowed him to project his personal prejudices onto the German populace, furthering his agenda and consolidating his power. By blaming the Jews for Germany's problems, Hitler found a simple answer to complex problems, fueling his own hatred and that of the nation. Yet Hitler's hatred for Jews was not just political, it was deeply personal and ideological. At the heart of his beliefs lay a warped view of racial purity, a concept he twisted to fit his own narrative. To Hitler, the Aryan race was supreme, the pinnacle of human evolution, and all others were inferior. This ideology wasn't merely an abstract concept, it was a driving force behind Hitler's actions. He believed that the Jews, whom he viewed as a racial group rather than a religious one, were corrupting the purity of the Aryan race, a threat that he felt needed to be eradicated. This led to what is now known as the Final Solution, a chilling name for a horrifying plan, the systematic extermination of the Jewish people. The Final Solution was not an impromptu decision but a carefully crafted strategy. It began with discrimination, escalated to segregation, and culminated in genocide. Concentration camps and gas chambers became the grim symbols of this unfathomable atrocity. In the twisted mind of Adolf Hitler, the extermination of Jews was a solution to Germany's problems, a testament to the depth of his hatred. This ideology of hate led to one of the most horrific genocides in human history, forever reminding us of the devastating consequences of unchecked prejudice and bigotry.